And welcome back as we continue on, getting ready for another pair of games this weekend. Both men's and women's basketball teams returning to the Goodman Center after a long time on the road, joined now by Roosevelt University women's basketball coach Deon Thomas. And Coach, thanks for joining us. Happy New Year. It's been a little bit of literally a long road the last few weekends and the last few weeks. Finally able to get back home, but overall an interesting set of games on the road. Had a great victory on New Year's Day. How do you see the team right now as they stand heading back into the GLIAC schedule?
Happy New Year. I like where we're standing right now. Obviously, we've played, besides Grand Valley State, I think we played the top half of the conference first. So we got baptized by fire for a lot of my new kids. So we have some very competitive games coming up, but I think we have a chance to be competitive this weekend, next week. So I'm very excited about where we are in the conference play. Obviously, only getting one win is tough, but 1-3 is not terrible. We got 16 more conference games to go.
Looking back at the most recent set of games, probably one of the more memorable games for all time for Roosevelt women's basketball. New Year's Day, Marie Outlay hitting that shot at the buzzer to give the team a win. Looking back, that had to have been a highlight of your career here at Roosevelt.
Absolutely. I think we've only had minimal game winners. I think Governor State twice, then that one are the three I can remember off the top of my head were just clutch moments by players. So, yeah, no, definitely one of the highlights of my career here at Roosevelt.
Looking back at the way that whole played out, and I'm watching it from courtside. I think we were opposite where the benches were for that game. And in the last few seconds, I always concentrate when a play like that happens, obviously on the final action, the shot that goes in. Great shot by Marie Outlay. But so many times I think what gets overlooked is what happens right before.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kelly Boyle was just outstanding. Went after the ball midcourt. To be honest, I didn't think she had enough time. She got to the ball and had the wherewithal to find Marie Outlay open to get Marie that chance at that shot. I mean, both ends, Kelly at the front and then Marie able to make the shot at the end. It was really a memorable play, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We drew up a play, got deflected. Kelly grabbed the ball. When I seen her grab the ball, she looked up at the score or like the shot clock, so she knew there was enough time. Then Kelly's probably made 4 or 5 of those shots herself. So the best play, the best part of that play was her making that extra pass to Marie wide open. Marie took her time to knock down the shot for us.
Well, and that takes a lot of court presence, doesn't it? Because again, Kelly, Kelly can hit the ball from outside, no doubt about it. She can put the ball in the basket from beyond the arc, but great heads-up play to find Marie Outlay to get that pass to get that chance at that last shot.
Absolutely. It was just the whole scramble situation. They had 3 people go to get the jump ball from Kelly. She came away from the little scram with the ball and was able to make a beautiful pass to Marie. So it was very nice.
Did you have a similar thought as I did, like a question of, is there enough time?
No, because I looked when she got there was 9 seconds on the clock. I was tipped. All that happened. That took 4 seconds. So when she got the ball, there was 5 seconds. So she took, I think, one dribble, made an easy pass to Marie. Ball was in the air for a second. She got the ball shot. It went off when the ball was in the air. So it was plenty of time. We've been working on, you have more time than you think when you have the ball. Yeah.
That's interesting. How does that kind of work in a way, for lack of a better way to put it, when you say you have more time than you think when you have the ball?
Well, if you think about just the NBA, they play with a 24-second shot clock. We play with a 30. So there's 6 seconds. We get 6 more seconds than them. And they pass the ball, get to the ball to like the 4 side of the floor in 24 seconds. So if you're talking about 0.5 decision making, you get the ball, and if a split second, you can make a decision. Like, you should have plenty of time with 5 seconds. You do a down and back in 10 seconds. So 5 seconds, you should be able to cover a lot of ground. That's
the thing about basketball. You kind of anticipated what I was thinking, in that a lot can happen in a short amount of time in the game of basketball, can it?
Yes, absolutely.
And then, of course, again, at the end of that play, Marie with just a fabulous shot. I'm trying to replay it in my mind as we speak. I think that she had a player covering her pretty tightly. So for her to make that shot, really just an outstanding play all around.
Yeah, absolutely. She had a player kind of under the basket closing out to her, and a girl that was trying to steal the ball from Kelly closing out to her. So she shot it where there was 2 people nearby. They got there right after she released the ball. So it was just a beautiful shot. Great pass by Kelly.
And it seemed like she didn't have any hesitation, did she?
No hesitation. She was calm, cool, collected in the moment. And she even said, I took a breath before I shot the ball. So it was perfect. She was very relaxed.
When you get a win like that at the end, getting a dramatic shot to close out a win, how much of a morale boost is that for a team?
It was huge. We've been in so many of those games and they haven't gone our way. We've lost several games by 1 point. So to get a 1-point victory on the road like that, especially conference play at Parkside, was huge for us. So definitely helped us. I thought we were going to be able to translate that into doing some big things at Ferris. We just started that game off slow, but we had a great second half. So gives our girls faith and confidence that they can compete with top half of the conference.
You talk about the Ferris game. It sounds like in your mind, maybe the first 10, 12 minutes of the game kind of dictated the way the afternoon went.
Oh, 100%. Like with 3 minutes to go, it's 13-8 in the first quarter. Then we just miss defensive assignments, give up a transition three, miss another defensive assignment, give them a two. So it was just, we shot ourselves in the foot early. So they had a lead, and they, at the end of the second, we let Mia Riley hit 3 threes. So to extend their lead going into halftime. So we gave up 49 points at half. I was not very pleased with that. Second half, we gave them 26 total points. So it's two tells, it's night and day with what we were in that game. So again, gave us confidence to believe that we can do it. We just have to put 40 minutes together. And I still don't think we've had an opportunity to do that this year in terms of our players accepting and buying into, hey, we got to compete from the start to the end. So even the Parkside game, we trailed and we came back. So, and it was the start of the game. So we can't keep starting slow, thinking that we're going to dig ourselves out of a hole. If we compete from the tip, I think our record is almost flipped.
Kind of two sides to that kind of situation. Now, obviously, you don't want to fall behind early in the Parkside game. It was 17-4 fairly early in the game. And,
First quarter,
on the positive side, a lot of basketball remaining to be played because it was still, I think, only 4 or 5 minutes into the ball game. But on the other hand, that's a situation that you don't want to get in consistently, do you?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to start off us 17 them 4, but it seems like we're always on the reverse side of that. So we don't want to be in that situation consistently, giving 20-plus point quarters to teams, and giving them way too much confidence when it comes down the stretch. Then we have to exert so much energy to just dig ourselves out of a hole where if we compete from the start, we're just going neck and neck all game.
I may have approached this topic last time we spoke. I'm trying to remember, but there is, I think, a lot to a situation where I've seen it happen so many times where a team will fall behind and they scramble to get back and they work really hard to get even, and then they just don't get over the hump. I think it was one of the games here at the Goodman Center that happened for the women's team. Is there a lot to that where if you fall behind, can you expend so much energy that at the end you're just out of gas?
I think yes and no. I think it's mental fatigue. You make mental errors when you get tired, but I think our girls are capable of doing it. I just prefer us not having to do it because a lot of teams would love to be in that situation or have experienced that going into conference play or postseason. So we've been in it every single, way too many times. So now it's given us valuable experience for us to pull from, but I would rather not have to keep digging ourselves out of a hole and just trade baskets or go on a run. Like it's a game of runs. We go on a run, they go on a run, but we can't let their run be 17-4. We have to 7-4 run is nice. You know what I mean? That is a 3-point game. Can't be down 13 trying to battle back every single game.
Looking back, advancing one game to the Ferris State game, and you noted it a few minutes ago that Ferris State was able to make some threes toward the end of the first half and get some momentum going into the halftime break, and you said you weren't all that pleased with how that played out. How important is it, those last 3 or 4 minutes of a half, maybe even less, maybe the last 2 or 3 minutes of a half for a team to try to get momentum? And if an opponent gets momentum, how hard is that to overcome?
It's very important because it feels like everything's going your way. So it's hard to overcome because one, you're on the road, you're playing the number 23rd ranked team in the country, and they have some girls that have been there now playing. They got 6 seniors, so they've been doing it for a long time. We have one returner that's played significant minutes. So we need a little bit of momentum going into halftime. We can't expect our girls to dig themselves out. So it could be detrimental, you know what I mean? And that situation it was. We couldn't get over the hump. I think we cut the lead to 7. Then they went on another run, and we couldn't get over that. But if it was a close game and we went on a run, now we're up 2 instead of us being down 7. So those are the momentum shifts in the game where it's a game of runs. We just can't let their run outweigh our runs.
From a morale standpoint of view, when you allow a run like that toward the end of the first half, it's got to be difficult because then the first half ends, and the players have to, I don't think it's at all possible not to think about that during the halftime break. You got to it almost kind of festers for about 15 or 20 minutes, and you're not able to get back onto the court right away. That's got to be kind of a tough morale hurdle to try to clear.
Yeah, it's more of a mental thing, right? We preach next play. So it happened. It's over with. We still have 20 minutes left of basketball. We can't worry about how that quarter or half ended. We have to talk about how we fix it and move from it. So we'll address it hey, you let a known shooter hit 3 back-to-back threes. Now, 2 of those threes were very contested. They were in someone's face. One was like you didn't rotate on a switch. So we talked about the why, how we fix it, then we move on. So they can't really sit and dwell on it because I'm giving them next play, how we do it, how we're going to attack, what are our adjustments. That they have to focus on that rather than what just happened.
It sounded like in that game you were much more pleased with the second half. Were those changes you thought made during the second half, and was the execution better?
Absolutely. I felt like we defended with a purpose. Like to give them 50 points in the first half, then give them 25 points in the second half. It's night and day. So yeah, I was very pleased with the second half performance. But we need 40 minutes of basketball if we're going to beat teams like Ferris, like Grand Valley, like Northern Michigan. Even the Northern Michigan game, we trailed by 20 and scored 35 points in the fourth quarter and lost by 1. If we just compete from the start to finish, we're never in that situation where we have to score 40 points in a quarter to have a chance to win.
Talk about needing to play a 40-minute game, and it's just the nature of the game. It can happen at any time, but even just a 2 or 3 minute stretch can mean the difference in many games, can it?
Oh, absolutely. And today in practice, we had our green team in 1 minute in a drill. They scored 25 points. So, like, it's just like that. Now, again, it was a half-court drill. It was like a shooting drill, but they got hot and they missed one shot in a minute. So, like, in a game, 3 minutes could be a long time. If you have there's a lid on your basket and they're scoring, they're throwing the ball in the ocean, they're pressing and doing everything else. So it could change the outcome of the game drastically because, again, in the 5-minute overtime at Western Michigan, we scored 19 points. So 3 minutes, that's 12 points plus, depending on what's going on. So, yeah, it could be a huge.
One thing that I was noticing calling both games at Parkside and at Ferris State, just a general basketball question here, and I was just struck by the speed of the game. Players today, they fire the ball around the perimeter. They move the ball up so quickly. I mean, it's almost like, do you ever feel at times while you're on the sidelines, don't blink because you might miss something? I mean, it's getting to that point now, from my point of view, calling games where you can miss something very easily. And do you ever notice that while you're on the sidelines, or is it different for a coach?
I think it's different because I feel like even with players, you can kind of slow the game down a little bit. Like we knew for Ferris, our game plan was to try to make the play half-court basketball. They gave us 22 points in transition. So there was a minute or a moment in the game where I think it was 3 straight actual game minutes. There was no stoppage. So that made it feel a little faster than it was. Even the referee was breathing hard. And me and him laughed about it. He was like, I was hoping you called timeout. I was like, I was trying to foul. So, like, it can get fast, but for the most part, I'm able to slow it down and see what's in front of me for that moment and just move on and just process things really quickly.
Is that something that's just part and parcel of coaching, where you have to see the whole court and try to slow down the game as you're watching it so you can assess what's going on?
Yeah, and I think the players have to do the same because, like, if we can play fast, we want absolutely, but we want to play fast but never out of control. Like, you know what I mean? So we need to maintain the pace where we understand what's going on and it's controlled chaos, not where it's so fast that we can't keep up with what's actually happening.
You mentioned control chaos. That's got to be a fine line between controlled chaos and where things can get out of hand.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where that 3 minute span, things kind of, they didn't really get out of hand, but as soon as we came back, everyone was a little huffing and puffing. Then it got out of hand right away. We start missing assignments because first thing goes when you get tired is the mental side of things, right? So it's a mentality. So you start forgetting that that's a shooter or she's a lefty driver, some things like that. So fatigue plays a big part in that chaos.
Looking ahead now, back home. Got to believe you're happy to be back home. Been a long time on the road in the recent weeks, so how nice will it be to be able to get into a pattern, have a couple of games at home, teams able to come back and have a more familiar environment, staying at home now. Do you think that will be a little bit of a boost as we now really move headlong into the GLIAC season?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice to play a conference game at home. I feel like every home court has a home court advantage. Ours is just a unique situation where we're located and stuff like that. So I love to play here. Our girls love to play here. So hopefully we can protect our home court for these next 2.
Well, looking ahead, Saginaw Valley State on Thursday, then Lake Superior State on Saturday. I'm going to almost ask you a question out of my own curiosity. Will it be, you think, as quick a tempo games this weekend as we saw on the road early on in the calendar year?
Yes, I haven't seen Lake Superior State. I haven't watched them yet, but I was watching Saginaw Valley, watched them a lot. They press, they want to play fast, they score in transition. They're a really good coach, well-coached team. They play hard. So I think that game's going to be very fast-paced. Then tonight, I plan on watching Lake State. So I can answer the second half of that question next time I see you. But I'm guessing it's going to be fast-paced, just knowing their coach. We coached against each other when we were both NAI when she was at Lawrence Tech. Obviously, she was there last year, the first-year head coach at Lake State. So it's a great matchup. They beat us here last year. We beat them there last year. So I expect that game to be a little bit more up-tempo as well.
Do you think that's a trend in the game right now, more up-tempo offense as opposed to maybe bringing it out half court and just trying to look for the best shot and taking your time? Is it more, in your view, a trend to push that ball and stay up-tempo for a lot of teams?
I feel like it's a coaching style. It depends on your coach and what they played, what they like. I like to play fast. I want to play fast, but I understand the value of playing inside-out basketball too, having bigs like Peta and Nina, trying to get them the ball and slow it down. So I wouldn't say it's more of a trend, but like the data says you're supposed to shoot more threes and layups. You know what I mean? I'm old school where I want to get to the mid and play. I would try to 2 you to death and draw fouls. So I'm a combination of all of it.
All righty. Well, Coach, Happy New Year again. Great to have you back. Great to be able to chat again and have, again, a couple of games coming up this weekend. Best of luck, and look forward to seeing you again next week.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happy New Year.
All righty. Happy New Year. Deon Thomas with us, head women's basketball coach here at Roosevelt University. We're going to pause, then come back with more. Stay with us.